Okay.
Yeah, we're good to go?
Yeah, we are good to go.
Yeah, okay. So, how does it feel now being so close to the release?
Oh, I'm getting excited. This is like a really difficult time actually in like game development where we finished like on March 18th and we're gold and we're like pretty excited and I just want people to play it. And now we have to wait. I feel like I kind of have to wait with fans until May 10th until people actually get it. Yeah, so it's satisfying, really proud of Uncharted 4 and now just kind of excited for people to get it.
So, when in the process did you decide that this would be the last Uncharted?
Since the beginning, I mean, this was kind of known since my involvement. You know, after Left Behind and came over to look at Uncharted, and yeah, I thought that was kind of a bold and interesting choice, and I think appropriate. You know, I think.
So, do you know why you came to that decision?
Well, it makes sense with like given the options when you think about it of like, well, do we just keep going occasionally and fans would kind of be curious. We have things we want to explore as a studio, you know, for the future, and then the alternative like handing it off to another studio or something didn't really make sense, and then we just think about storytelling in general. I think it's a nice idea of something that doesn't get done in video games of like, no, here's a character that we've spent a lot of time with, that we care about a lot, and that fans care about. Like, let's honor everything we've set up in the first 3 games, and let's do it, and let's close this character. Let's honor all that, and let's do it in a way that we want to do it. And so I think all of that just, to me, we do because of how much we kind of care about storytelling and this character.
So, what have you brought from? I mean, Naughty Dog's previous game before this was The Last of Us. What have you brought from that production here?
We learn a bit from every game that we do, and then that's why I think we continue to kind of grow and expand what we think is possible. With The Last of Us, I mean, things you'll see here, and you know, something that's always been in Uncharted is the stealth element, you know, and now even more so that you can kind of, you know, start in stealth and then go into combat, then go back into stealth. That's something that, you know, we found to be really valuable and important in The Last of Us, and now something that we continue to now add that same type of evolution into Uncharted, which I think is important and fits naturally in kind of this really nice way. So I think that's there just on a very gameplay mechanic level. Then you have things like maybe subtler storytelling things that like even in Left Behind or things like that, that like people will also just walk with another character if like the conversation's engaging and you know, and even just popping up maybe a choice between like what question do you want to ask somebody else. That's like really pretty engaging, and people kind of like that. I think that was something else we kind of learned in Left Behind.
So, this is your first true PlayStation 4 game. How have this console been to work with?
Yeah, it's been working with PlayStation 4 has been exciting. It's been like, you know, eyes have been wide for a while of just like, what can we do? Like, what's possible? Going over and talking with the programming team often and just being like, okay, can we get this? Can we do this? Now what about this? And they've been diligently giving us kind of as much as they can. You know, it gives us chances to do things like the drivable vehicle, and to do it on a scale that we want and that we like, and with the visual fidelity that we think is appropriate for Uncharted. Because we could have done a Jeep before, we just never could have done it looking this good and feeling this good and giving you that such a nice sense of exploration. You know, I think all of that comes together really well for something like the PlayStation 4.
Is this consistent through the game? I mean, the part I'm playing right now, it's very open. I can go wherever I want, drive wherever I want. Is this consistent through the game, or are there some classic Uncharted areas, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, this is now just like another element within it. So yes, you'll have the classic Uncharted moments. You'll have, I think, some new ones that will surprise you as well. I think it's now just another way we can kind of mix up the pacing of what you're doing in the action, which is something that's always kind of been important to us in storytelling and as a player in game actions.
So Uncharted always have been about action adventure. Have you done anything with that balance? Is there more adventure this time, or more action, or how you work with that balance this time around?
Yeah, I think there's like, I mean, it's easy for me to say that it feels pretty balanced. You have all the things. You have I think, exploration that feels just broader, right? Even in just, not only just in something when you're like driving the Jeep, but also the moments when you're just climbing, right? That just feels like a more natural surface that has more options to kind of go between and climb, you know? Like when you go hiking, you know, you don't feel like, you know, like you can climb over the rock like this if you want to, or if you see another rock, maybe you go around that way, or your friend goes around this way, you know, and you feel like you have this space that you're kind of exploring. And that, I think, is, you feel more of that just in general in any of the spaces. And so I think just overall, you have this sense of more variety of choices within both the combat, with the exploration, with the traversal, which I think is kind of interesting.
So can you tell me about this decision about this pirate tale? I mean, we visited Francis Drake and Shangri-La. How come you chose this legend?
Henry Avery is just kind of a really interesting man, considering what he did. And I think, I don't know, there's something about Henry Avery's tale that really gets me excited as a treasure hunter, different than all the other ones, I think, where it's like, I mean, Sir Francis Drake is kind of just such an incredible figure, but there's something about that, even that story, that didn't make me feel like I almost kind of wanted to go on that adventure. But the fact that this treasure is still out there, I mean, maybe I'm not, but like that still gets me excited, right? That like, and that someone could do that at that time, of like pull that off, organize pirates, and then disappear. Really, we don't know anything. Like that's so surprising, like to me, when you combine that. So if it would have been a small heist and a guy disappeared, there wouldn't be much to it. But at the same time, there was a global manhunt. So everyone was looking for him. So he couldn't have gone, how do you disappear? It just gets me excited. We even had like somebody that was playing, like a play tester, like we're watching them, she's playing it, and she gets this cool moment in the story, and she just like, you know, sets down the controller and sits back, and she's just like, maybe I should become a treasure hunter. And I'm just like, cool. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.